What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best minion lich build in Path of Exile 2. The setup revolves around summoning raging spirits by casting the Flame Wall and Ember Facilade. And we are going to be focusing and building around a playstyle that commands a deadly army. We'll use a mix of skeletal snipers, raging spirits and the inert minions that explode on death. Offensive buffs like the pain offering and curses such as the flammability will boost damage, while the energy shield and passive nodes will offer us a strong defense. This build requires no unique items, which makes it ideal for solo self-found, and with smooth leveling, capped resistances and endgame potential, it's perfect for players who love minion mayhem with amazing survivability and DPS output. Also, if you're interested in buying other PC or console games with 50 or 70% discount, then check out Instant Gaming. For example, I want to buy Elden Ring, so we just click on Add to Cart, then click Pay, then input our details and pay. After payment is complete, we will receive activation key, then copy and paste the key in, and it's that simple. So, what are you waiting for? Click my link description and check out Instant Gaming for yourself. So let me show you the build, and for the main class we are going with the witch and our ascendancy is lich. Then for the first skill we have skeletal warrior with the maim, sacrificial lamb, infernal legion and fire exposure. Then second we got the skeletal arsonist with a scattershot, muster, martial tempo, feeding frenzy and the minion mastery. Next we got skeletal cleric with ingenuity, essence harvest and the death march. Next we have skeletal sniper with the binding, commandment, corrosion, primal armament and heft. Then for the next one we have skeletal storm mage with the conduction, storm fire, lightning penetration, overcharge and lightning mastery. Then next we got the flame wall with the arcane surge, mobility, arcane tempo and energy barrier. Then next we have flammability with inspiration, heightened curse, curse ground, ritualistic curse and the magnified effect. Then also we got the ember facilade with unleash, blind and fast forward. Next up we have raging spirits with the elemental focus, fire infusion, last gasp, immobilate and culling strike. And finally we're using pain offering with the meat shield, dance macrobee, ablation, persistence and fawn of rage. Most of the setup is structured around using our minions to delete enemies in split seconds, so we use gems and skills that will support and increase their duration, size and damage, while the rest are powerful buffs and utility skills that usually get activated in the background. Next we also have a leveling build in case if you are watching this video when starting your journey from level 1 and you want to use it up until about level 25. So first off we have inert with the minion instability and persistence. Then next we have flame wall with the arcane surge and arcane tempo. Next we got skeletal warrior with a scattershot and last gasp. And finally we're using pain offering with the meat shield and inspiration. Next up we have our passive tree, and if you're interested in a full in-depth guide on how it works, then check out my beginner guide. So let's take a look at our setup, and we want to start at the spell and minion damage node, and then go like this while taking these two, so the raw destruction and the power of the dead. Then next go to the right and get all of these three, so dampening shield, pure energy and melding. Then from this point we keep on going until the end and get this whole side right here. Next up circle back a little and then take left and keep going until the end. And the order in which you unlock them doesn't really matter, so at this point it's up to you. All of these nodes that we got are very useful, but the ones I mentioned have the top priority, as they're the most important ones to acquire early on in the game, to make our build functional, and then later on, the priority won't really matter that much. Also, as far as attributes go, you just simply won't fulfill your attribute requirements for gear and gems, and then after that spend the rest in intelligence. On top of this we have jewels, and my main recommendation is to use any type of sapphire jewel, and specifically the ones that gives us max energy shield, minions deal increased damage and pretty much anything else that increases the strength or survivability of our minions. And then now let's go all the way to the middle again, and for Ascendancy build this is what we have. So at the beginning you want to unlock Necromantic Conduit, and to effectively utilize this node we need to invest into the mana regeneration and max mana. And this will ensure that the mana drain does not hinder our overall performance. If done properly, this setup can significantly increase our damage and give this one-shot AoE potential. Next we want the Soulless form. This offers substantial benefits. It requires careful balancing of life and energy shield values. Investing in energy shield will be crucial, as it serves as a buffer that prevents life loss. However, if your energy shield is depleted, then the bypass damage will affect your life, which makes it essential to manage both resources effectively. Then next we want Eternal Life. When we combine this with the Soulless form, term, it provides a robust defensive layer by ensuring that your life remains unchanged as long as you have energy shield remaining. You'll be able to take damage without compromising your life. And finally, we got Crystalline Phylactery, which allows us to directly suck it in a Javel in our Ascendancy tree. So to get the highest efficiency, we want to equip gear and select passive skills that will boost our energy shield to avoid mana cost penalty. And also we will pair it with other Ascendancy nodes like the Eternal Life, which prevents life loss, while you have Energy Shield or the Eldritch Empowerment, which increases non-channeled spell damage and allows the Energy Shield to be used as a resource without interrupting its recharge. Next up we have our Atlas tree, and the general idea behind this is to aim for bonus passives that spawn a lot of grouped up monsters like in expeditions or in rituals. So when we start, we want to first of all go to the left side and get all of these nodes until the high road, but of course on your way get the ecological shift, and then lastly go all the way to the middle and then get these top nodes. But then on top of this we also have sub passives, and their order in which you unlock them doesn't really matter, so this time it's up to you. And this is how it should look like for the ritual. Then next we have Delirium, then third we have bosses, then on top of that we have the pinnacle bosses, then next we also have our expedition setup, and then finally our breach setup. Next we have gear. The weapon of our choice is the Rattling Scepter with increased spirit. Allies deal more damage, more levels of all minion skills, and allies deal increased attack speed. Then also we got an offhand called the Quartered Crest Shield with armor and energy shield. And for more we want increased block chance, max life, more to all elemental resistances and chaos resistance. Then also we got the second weapon set, and remember that no uniques are required for this setup to work. But for our second weapon we got the Trench Debris with the adds to physical damage, increased attack speed, more levels to minion skills, and increased to minion attack speed will also affect our character. While for the offhand we got the Rattling Scepter with more to spirit, more levels of all minion skills, and allies deal more damage to increased attack speed. Then for helmet we have the Kamasan Tiara with the energy shield, increased energy shield, max life, and more levels of all minion skills. Then for chest we have the Sacramental Robe with faster start to energy shield, max energy shield, increased energy shield, more to spirit, more to intelligence, and chaos resistance. Then for belt we have the Fine Belt with max life, max mana, more to charm slots, and chaos resistance. Then for gloves we got the Val Gloves with energy shield, and for bonus stats we want max and increased energy shield, max life, and more to fire and chaos resistance. Then for boots we're using the Sandsworn Sandals with energy shield, and for more we want increased movement speed, max and increased energy shield, and more to fire and chaos resistance. Then for our first ring we got the Venter's Gamble with max life, more to spirit, and fire, cold, and lightning resistance. While for the second one we have the Topaz Ring with the lightning resistance, max life, fire, and lightning resistance. And then finally for amulet we have the Jade Amulet with dexterity, max and increased energy shield, more to spirit, and more to levels of all minion skills. No matter which gear you choose, just at least try to get 75% resistance cap on all 4 elements. This is the best case scenario setup, which should be more of an example of what stats and prefixes to look for. Then next we have runes. During early item progression, most gear should be socketted with resistant runes. However, once your elemental resistances have been capped and resistant runes are no longer necessary, then you want to opt in to increase your maximum life with body runes or consider socketing a soul core. So right now on my shield, helmet, gloves, and shoes we got the soul core of the Sadie. Then for chest we got 2 iron runes, while for second weapon set we got the 2 soul cores of Azapa. Then on top of this we need to quickly look into the charms. Charms are incredibly useful, as by having the right one equipped at the right time can save you from dying. If you are struggling with certain bosses, then look into what damage type they're using, and then use that specific charm to increase your resistance. For me personally, I like to use the Stone Charm for stuns. Then second, get the Taming Charm for when you become frozen. And then finally, we want Silver Charm for when we are slowed. But as I've said, which one you choose will entirely depend on the enemies that you are fighting. So feel free to experiment and mix and match. Another important decision is Anointment. So for Amulet we're using the Relentless Fallen, which is beneficial for the minion focus builds, such as those who are utilizing the Lich, because by increasing our minions' movement and attack speed, this Anointment will enhance our overall effectiveness in both clearing content and dealing insane damage. And now finally, let's quickly take a look at how this build will work. So we want to begin our fights by casting the Flame Wall, which serves as a dual purpose. It will ignite nearby enemies and summon 2 raging spirits. These fiery minions will immediately launch into action, targeting anything caught in the blaze. Next, you want to use the Skeletal Sniper's command ability to launch a deadly gas arrow. This projectile is particularly lethal against enemies already burning, and upon impact with the ignited target, it will detonate a volatile explosion, which deals heavy area damage and spreading further chaos. Then next, we follow that up by casting Flame Wall once again, which will summon 2 additional raging spirits. These fresh minions will bolster our offense and keep the pressure on the enemies, especially when fighting larger packs or elite targets. Then next we cast Ember Fusillade, which will bring forth 2 more raging spirits. This will add to our ever-growing minion horde and ensure a steady wave of attacks from multiple angles. Then to supercharge minions for tougher encounters, we want to cast Pen Offering. This powerful skill will grant a significant damage boost to all of our minions, which makes it especially effective during boss fights, or when facing rare enemies with higher health pool. And finally, to weaken high priority targets, we want to cast Despair. This curse will reduce the chaos resistance of cursed enemies, ensuring that your minions deal even more damage. So let me know what you think about this build in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you don't want to miss my previous top 3 best builds video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.